So I know that everyone is not a runner, so this might not apply to everyone, but running has kind of always been a part of my routine and just something that I do pretty consistently. For me, it really just gives me a lot of mental benefits and really just allows me to walk throughout the rest of my day with a clear mind. And I think that any time that I'm having doubtful thoughts or just the day seems kind of off as far as the energy, it's just always incredibly important for me to move my body. And I notice that every single time that I move my body, I just feel better afterward. And today was one of those days, and it just kind of started with this overwhelming feeling of just having to do so many things, and I guess not always knowing where to start first. I really try to just always force myself to start somewhere, but typically a lot of the time it's really important for me to just take a break from that and to just go move my body, even if it's just for a walk or a quick workout, and just to kind of see where that brings me throughout the rest of the day. Typically it's always positive, so really just something I think that everyone should incorporate into their routine, especially if they have moments where those doubtful thoughts kick in, or you just wake up feeling unclear or overwhelmed about all the things you have to do. It just really brings you to a much clearer place, and I think that that's something that I've always really liked about it, and that's why I continue to do it. And recently I've been testing different shoes. I've been trying to combat some injuries, so it's been kind of a little bit of a process with different recovery methods and different shoes and just trying different things. And I think that I'm finally approaching a place that is feeling really good about kind of taking my running more seriously and really setting some goals around it, as opposed to it just being a kind of a routine thing, just going to the gym. And I think just for me, just having something to work toward and something to progress in and get better at just really pushes me to focus more, especially just focusing more on how I'm moving my body, what I'm putting into my body, and how I'm recovering, and just being more mindful of all of those things has really done me a lot of benefit. So that's why I'm really working toward taking that more seriously this year, and really setting some goals around different races and just kind of seeing where it takes me, honestly. I think that I got the same thing from my art and from the other things that I do creatively, and I just think that having that physical activity as part of my life really just I feel like it's very positive for me. And I just felt the need to sit here for a second and just film a clip of that, just to connect with someone who maybe feels like they need that activity in their life as well, and just to really advocate for the benefits that it's brought me throughout the past few years. And yeah, so I recently picked up these Alpha 3 prototypes, more of a race day only shoe. Of course, people train in them for a little bit from time to time, just to kind of break them in and get used to them a little bit, but this is my first pair. So these are the other ones that I use, are the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. This is a nylon plated shoe. The Alpha 3 is a carbon plated shoe. Relatively similar technology. Honestly, I think this could be worn as a race day shoe. It's a very firm shoe compared to this OnCloud Cloudsurfer. This is the older colorway, but this one was a good shoe, and it's just honestly much softer than both of these. I feel like I'm kind of still testing them out and seeing how I like them. So, and these Cloudsurfers have definitely put a lot of miles on these. These things are pretty beat. Honestly, I don't really run in these anymore. I just kind of use them for walking my dog and stuff. Yeah, I'm just really trying to kind of see how I feel with both of these, honestly, right now. It's something that I'm still kind of experimenting with. So if you have any suggestions, or shoes that you've had in your rotation that you recommend. Just definitely leave a comment down below and let me know what you recommend. This is something that I'm still kind of like learning more about as I go. So I definitely am always learning new things about these shoes, especially just after trying them out for myself and reading different threads about them. So yeah, if you know anything that you think that's worth sharing, yeah, please definitely go ahead and share that with me and everyone else. Yeah, this is something that I'm really looking forward to, like just taking more seriously this year. Honestly, it's just like kind of like allows me to really step outside of everything else that I'm doing throughout the day, and like just like the goals that I have around my business and just these different creative projects and goals that I have that I'm constantly kind of chasing after and trying to achieve. And I just think that like having something else to work toward on top of those things really just allows me to kind of like step outside of that mindset. It's just similar to how you, in certain moments as an artist, like you have to step out of the creative mindset and really kind of jump into the business mindset. And that's something that I've really had to learn to get better with throughout the past few years. And I just think that being able to step out of both of those mindsets and step into just a mindset where I'm really connecting with myself physically, I just think that that's like super important. And it's definitely brought me so many benefits, just so much clarity around, just things that I was working through in my life, and just kind of separating myself from everything else that I'm focused on every single day. And I just think that that's really, really important for everyone to kind of, experience that if you have the ability to do so. I watch my videos back sometimes and I just feel like when I hear these things repeated as I'm editing them, and then when I watch them back, it just like is a reminder for me to, if I fall off my path of training where I like don't reach a goal that I'm after, it just really serves as a reminder for me to kind of just remind myself that, today was one of those days for me that, I really was feeling very unorganized, just super foggy, and just like moving my body really, really helped a lot. And I just think that that's something that I really wanted to kind of jump on here and advocate for a second, and just hopefully connect with someone who needed to hear that. I know a lot of people are saying the same thing, and hopefully I'm not being redundant by saying similar things. And yeah, this was kind of like a weird motivational / shoe review. Yeah, I didn't really have much structure to what I was going to record here. So yeah, I'm just going to jump off here and just go jump back into my work and approach things with a fresh mindset, and kind of like ride this wave that I'm on after moving my body and just like getting a good workout in. So, all right.